Hi guys, welcome back to another video. We're back here on Formula Roblox, just heading into a qualifying session, a 10-minute qualifying session, so quite a long qualifying session, enough time to get maybe 2, 3 or even 4 laps in, as we can see many people completing their first runs already. 40.7 seems to be the benchmark. We decided to go out quite late, decided to go out once everyone has done their first run, just to make sure that once everyone else has gone back into the pits we have a clear track. This is the same track that we did our video on last week, so obviously if you are returning to the channel, if you're new to the channel, obviously make sure to like, subscribe and leave a comment as we push for 1,000 subscribers. But we're also pushing on the track here as we've just started our first flying lap. We've quickly navigated the triple apex right hand there, the quick swing to the left. We've got set at 15.5 in the first sector, which is better than what we set on our first lap in the last video at the same track at 15.7, as Boston scores first on pole position with 39.3, so that's kind of a time we need to be aiming for, as we go purple in the middle sector with an 11.9. So it looks like that maybe we can stick it on pole or even on the front row as we head down the main straight to see where our first lap is going to put us. And we go P1 of our first lap at 38.9, beating Boston by 4, nearly 5 tenths of a second. So there is some signs of pace here, but as we head out for our second run, we've been beaten by 38.6, so we have around 2.5 tenths to make up. As we go now for our second flying lap, layer braking into the first corner, swinging right through a triple apex, one of the hardest corners of the game. Having the tricky left hand there, make sure to use as much curve as you can if going over onto the slowdown. And now 1 time up, but we do have a lot of traffic ahead of us, and as you could remember from the last video how hard it is with traffic as we go wide for slowdown, and that is that lap ruined. But we decided that we're going to carry on with this lap anyway. There's no point coming in for a pit for some new tyres and have to do an out lap and waste more time, so it's best to just continue for a second lap. Our tyres are around 5 tyre wear, which is manageable to go for a second lap. We have a clear track around us as we let some of the traffic in front of us go. So we're now starting our third lap. No mistakes needed on this lap. Again, heavy braking into the first corner, swinging around for the first, second and third apex. Hard braking and then quickly swinging around to left onto this little straight. And we're going to see very shortly how our first sector was. We're 1.5 times up, which is not enough for what we need to go into first place. We need around 2.5 times, so we're going to have to make up some more time throughout the lap. As we're following this car ahead of us to see now how good our middle sector was. And we're down by nearly 3 times, as you could see through that little chicane. We went a lot wider than what we needed to, so there isn't really any possibility of this lap being an improvement at all. As we go down the main straight to see, and yes, we were right, nearly 2 tenths down. So as we transition now into the last 2 minutes of qualifying, we're going to go for yet another lap, our third attempt I believe this is. A 38.0 by Omar, who goes onto pole position, so we're now nearly 9 tenths off of pole to go wide into the first corner, navigating a little bit of traffic at the same time. The Dolphin gap because of our first sector is going to be up to scratch. Yeah, we're down by nearly 300 in the first sector, so we need a really strong middle and final sector if we want to pull any time back. But the driver in pole has left, along with the driver in second, so as it stands we are in P2. As we go around 5,000, marginally quicker in the middle sector, we need a really good exit out of the last hairpin corner, which it looks like we have got now to power down the main straight to see how our latest lap attempt was. And we improve around 2 tenths, but we need around half a tenth more to go into P3, which what would be pole position. As the first 2 drivers have left, we're carrying on for another lap now. Our tyres are showing some signs of wear, but we aren't going to let it stop us as we go for another lap. We're nearly 2 tenths up in the first sector, which is absolutely more than we need to go into pole position as we're going through these now final corners heading to the last hairpin. We're going to have a look now and see how our middle sector was. And again, 2 tenths up in the middle sector, that's really as much time as we need to improve as we come out of the final corner, powering down the main straight through the gears nearly 160 miles an hour to see where we're going to be. And its pole position, we improve by nearly 3.5 tenths. We even jump a position from an invalid car, and yes, it is pole position for us of 38.3, nearly like 3 tenths ahead of Bottoms in P2. So again, ready now to start the race. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go. We are slow, and the reaction time, it looks like Boston's got a much better start than us, so we're going to have to do some defending rather than attacking into the first corner. He's there on our outside, we need to try and squeeze him off the track. We brake much later than he does, but he gets a much better exit. We're nearly 3 wide now coming into the first corner. RAF getting on the action as well, and he passes both of us from P3 to go into the lead of the race. But there's another car now, I believe that is Y-Boy. We're going for nearly 4 wide into the first corner, and that was an absolutely insane race. And as we get an insane switchback, and Y-Boy to go into the lead of the race, but Bottoms has made these positions back. He's now trying to go side by side with us. We need to be defending into a hairpin as we set the purple middle sector. So we are ahead of Bottoms, but marginally as he is very, very close behind us down this main straight, and to make sure that he gets absolutely no slipstream at all. He sets the fastest lap of 41.3, nearly 2 tenths quicker than us, so we do need to get a wriggle on if we want to win this race. As we get slowed down on the first corner, a common mistake to make, and Bottoms now gets ahead of us. British field spreading out, RAF and South calming down. The field spreading out, we have some more time to focus on the battle for P1. As Bottoms goes wide and we get a switchback, and it looks like he's got to slow down. So that definitely takes some pressure off our shoulders as we move up into P1, and South passes Bottom for P2. So this is really crucial, a great turn of events for us as our main rival is now down in P3 with a slowdown penalty. As we head now onto lap 4, we pulls the gap a little bit now to Bottoms, but he's made the positions back up. He's around 4 tenths behind us on this main straight. If you go a little bit wide, we get a marginal slowdown. We're trying to get a better view to see where he is. He's around 3 tenths back now. He's gaining on us. He sets the lap time. That's around 2 tenths quicker than ours. We're frantically looking in our rear mirror to see how close he is, and he's just getting ever so close every single lap. He's nearly half a tenth behind us now. We navigate the triple apex right hand end. We can see him very close in our mirrors. We're trying to weave to make sure we can get absolutely no slipstream at all. The last thing we want to do is give him advantage through his corners. As we go wide and he sends one down the inside, and that's absolutely not what we needed. Halfway point of his race, lap 5, and we've been overtaken by Bottoms, who after a slowdown on the very first laps has made these positions back up wonderfully. We try to get a better exit. As he goes wide on the slowdown, he goes wide on out of the final hairpin onto the main straight, and we have absolutely a better exit than he does. We can see from an aerial view here, we get right past him, around 1/10 pulled from him now, and that is what we needed. He's made a mistake, and we've capitalised on that wonderfully. As we're going around side by side through the first corners, as he sends one down the inside, that is absolutely an unorthodox place to overtake. I have absolutely no idea how we managed to get the car stopped in time as we tried to go for a return and move, but we go wide on the slowdown again, and it was not the right decision there to send one down the inside as he did. And it's now lap 7 of his race, and we're following him through the final hairpin as we're around 2 seconds behind. Now we've lost a lot of time after that slowdown, but we have gained around 4 tenths through that corner, so it looks like he's made the exact same mistake again. He's gone wide and got on slowdown, so if we can get our head down and count on him to make these mistakes, we could be in for the win of this race, as we just missed out in the last video. So hopefully in this video we can finally get that P1. As we're going now for lap 9 of this race, we're around 5 tenths behind him. We're going to slippery now. We're going to make a move down the inside. We brake way later than he does. We send one down the inside, but we can't get the car slowed down in time as he zooms up ahead of us. As we get slowed down, we need to gather ourselves back up and maybe, just maybe, go for a huge dive into turn 1 on the last lap. As we're following him through these corners now, we go wide again. We're using the absolute limit of the track. Our tyres on 20% tyre. We're screaming for help as we've ran 10 laps now on these soft tyres, as we're following him through this final hairpin. As we both go wide, we both make the same mistake. We both don't want to give anyone any advantage at all. As we now go down for the final lap, for the final time to turn around, we're going to be bored. We're going to send one down the inside. We tried to, but we just aren't able to slow the car down in time. It's better in that scenario to brake earlier, as we're now following him 6 tenths behind now. Just out of the first sector, we're 600s down in our best time. We need absolutely every bit of performance we can get on this last lap. Our tyres, we just do not have enough health left in our tyres to follow him. We're now going down to the final hairpin. We're around 5 tenths behind. We've set a personal best in the middle sector. We go for an absolute send down the inside, but he gets switched back on us as he brakes a lot earlier. We're trying to get the slipstream now, right down to a line. 4 tenths, are we going to make it? Unfortunately not, we don't make it. Thanks guys for watching this video. As always, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share this video with your friends, and I'll see you in the next video next week.